Hi, welcome to my 5-step process to make 2 grand in 2 weeks. If you've got a business already. Okay, so 2 grand in 2 weeks. It's doable. I've seen it done a million times. It's possible for you. Let's go. Let's do it. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this specific content is because I know that for me, and I only teach what I know and what I do, the only way I can truly manifest money, I'm going to talk about manifesting money today. The only way I can truly manifest money into my reality is by having a home for it to go to. So I know for me what I'm manifesting right now, and I have a specific amount in mind, and I go through this 5-step process myself, and the money arrives. Yeah. So the amount isn't really relevant. The reason why I've chosen 2K in 2 weeks, because I believe that's achievable for everybody, that amount and in that time frame, if you have a business already. Obviously, it's possible if you haven't. I'd say if you have a business and you've got an offer or you've got any kind of like audience or any kind of skill set that you've been selling, this is going to work for you. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through my 5-step process. And by my process, I'm talking about the actual activities that I do when I sit down to specifically manifest an amount of money. So whether it's 100 grand or £1 million or 2 grand, it doesn't matter. But I always have, number one thing is I always have an amount in my mind and a specific thing that is for. So having a home for your money, really powerful. Now, I didn't know this wasn't how everyone did it. So it is literally by popular demand. People have said, how are you doing this so accurately and so easy and so consistently over the last 5 years? And I was kind of like, yeah, I definitely do have a process. I guess I can teach it. So, I mean, these are very rough notes, but I kind of formulated it into a 5-step process. So hopefully you'll be able to follow along and apply some or all of this to your reality. And I can't wait to hear from you when you do the work and it works. Now, it's not some magical, mystical thing. It does involve a fair amount of hard work and graft, and very importantly, doing things that are outside of your comfort zone. A lot of people say to me, it's easy for you, Helen, because and then you can put anything on the end of that, because you're confident, because you're good at video, because you don't mind what people think, because you're happy promoting, whatever it might be, or you've got a great business already, or you've got a great audience. That hasn't always been the case. You know, I was right at the beginning of my business journey, just like you might be at the beginning of yours. And there's loads of things that were miles out of my comfort zone. And even today, I'm out of my comfort zone every single day. So if your reason, stroke excuse, for not being able to manifest money is because it's easy for me and it's hard for you, because I would suggest that we're going to work on that. Okay. And that's okay to feel that way, but I am going to call that out for what it is. It's no more easy for me than it is for you. Every stage of my journey, every life circumstance I've had, I've done this process and it still worked anyway. Okay, so let's get on. So I have written some notes, so you have to bear with me as I go through them. But what do I do? And I had to kind of step back and think, what am I doing? So I'm manifesting a specific amount of money at the moment. So I'm doing this process right now in my life. I want to do that in my business, in my life, right? So it's quite interesting to just map it out. So the first thing I do, and this is what we'll use it in the context of this 2K in 2 weeks, right? I want you to write down 2K and a date 2 weeks from now. And I want you to get home for that money. Now, spoiler alert, I want you to make 2K so you can invest it in working with me. I want you to make it so you can be like, wow, that really worked. I'm going to buy Helen's program, which is 2K, or I'm going to work with her privately, which starts at 2K, right? So it's kind of like, for me, there is an ulterior motive, but your 2K could be for whatever you want. I first started out in business. The whole business that I built up to millions of pounds in sales started with, I needed to manifest 2K for my patio, and it was just really powerful to have an amount. So an amount and a deadline. So 2K in 2 weeks, write the date down 2 weeks from today, midnight 2 weeks from today. And I want you to have a minute to think about what that money is going to be used for and how it's going to feel when that money arrives in your life and how you're going to feel when you then put that money into whatever it might be. It could be paying off debt, it could be going on holiday, it could be buying some shoes, it could be investing in something for your business or personal development. No judgment from me, but interestingly, if there's judgment from you, write it down. Yeah, we're going to be writing as we go, and we are going to be writing stuff down. So what comes up for you when I say you can manifest 2K in 2 months? What comes up? Write it down. Write it down. This is going to be obviously a play along with me thing. And it's really powerful for you to just write down whatever comes up. So what comes up for you when I say, and what is your it's easy for you statement, and what is your it's hard for me because statement? I think really digging into what those might be can be really, really illuminating as to what's perhaps stopping you being able to do this in the past. But once we've uncovered that and worked through that, we can just move forward and crack on with it. Okay, so we're going to set that goal. We're going to create a home for it. And I want you to really write about it. I want you to draw pictures about what it's going to be like. I want you to step into the emotion. I want you to breathe it in. And I want you to put anchors in. So this comes straight from Denise Duffield Thomas's playbook. So this isn't my work, but it's something that I've adopted and used over the last 6 years of being in her world. So anchors in Denise's world is having it visually where you can see it over and over again. So things like changing your phone password, changing your computer password, maybe renaming things like banks on apps. I do writing it on the mirror. So I always have my money target and my weight target on the mirror. Look at them every day when I'm doing my makeup, brushing my teeth. It's a constant reminder. I also like saying things like putting it in your purse or your wallet, putting it on your computer where you work every day, putting it on your visor, on your car, Post-it notes to your friend, right? Put them in the fridge, put them on the mirror, whatever. I write mine on eyeliner on the mirror. But whatever you need to do to keep that number front and center in your reality, really powerful. Now, I'm super spiritual, so I would say, here we go. I've actually wrote this out. Set the intention and then get your woo on. So if you're not spiritual, you might want to skip over to section 2. I think it works with or without the woo, but I just like to throw everything at it. Right, so I do things like I do tapping with Brad. So Brad Yates on YouTube, EFT, tapping on points, and tapping. I search for things like manifesting money, tapping for wealth, tapping to be debt free, tapping for things like that. One of my favorites actually of his that I did recently was tapping on winning the lottery. That brought up loads of stuff for me. But if you don't know what EFT is, go and follow along with Brad. He's just the housewife's favorite. He's lovely and very calming, and it's all free. So go to YouTube, do some tapping with Brad, and just notice how it feels when we're really focusing in on this 2K in 2 weeks. The other thing that I do, and again, a lot of this comes from Denise, is a declutter. So declutter the space that I'm working, particularly throw away old notebooks that I've got, old goals and things like that. I miss more goals than I hit, by the way, guys. But I do hit a lot, enough to make me to keep going, obviously, and to believe in the process. But I've got an open fire, so burn old notebooks, old goals, old things, anything that's kind of like energetically keeping me, stuck where I'm at, rather than getting the money flowing. Doing things like, what did I do in a decluttering sense? Went through all my bank apps, deleted all my old pays. There's some real negative emotions in there with some of those people. Delete those people, delete the pays in your bank. Go through, maybe delete some emails. That's not for me. I can see on my computer I've got 322,537 unread emails. So don't do as I say, not as I do on that one. But, whatever you feel, and I'm looking around my office because it's all, it's a nice place. I work in the garden, in a garden room. Stu built me like a tree house in the trees. So it's a nice place. I used to be in the basement and I was so miserable down there, and all the money stopped flowing and it was just not the right energy. So make sure that you're working in a space. And if you haven't got, again, it's all right for you because you've got a tree house in the garden. Not everyone has this. But I painted it nice colours. I've got my Buddha on the wall, I've got crystals. I've got my vision board over there. I've got all my awards and things up there and my thank you notes and stuff. So I just surround myself with positive anchors of, this is where I do work, and it's not particularly cluttered. it's all in a good place. If you've got things like, and again, I'm no decluttering or feng shui expert by a long stretch, but things like bills and demands and things like that, get them all in one place and put them somewhere where you can't see them, deal with them, but don't have them there all the time, reminding you. So decluttering your space, really powerful. Also do things like get myself in a physically a good a place as I can to do this manifesting. I take this seriously, right? So make it, obviously have a shower every day, but shower, make sure my hair, blow dry my hair, get dressed properly, put my jewelry in, make sure I wear my watch every day, dress for work. That can be whatever that means to you, again, no judgment, but put my makeup on, shave my legs, have a bit of fake tan, make sure I'm doing all my self-care stuff, right? So go for walks, get out into nature, do my grounding, make sure I'm eating properly. So stock up with healthy stuff, so I'm not tempted to just throw it all up and have a KFC, which does happen, but trying to do that for the weekends. But in the week, when I'm focused on what I'm doing, for the next 2 weeks, just bring in the good stuff, bring in the good energy, make sure I've got good food, good drinks, drinking my herbal tea. So there's things like that as well. Like, where in your life could you be sabotaging yourself from welcoming this money in? And just step it up a bit. Be your best self for the next 2 weeks. You can let it slide after that. So I kind of get in the zone with this. I think, right, so declutter, I cleanse my space. So I've got some over there actually, but we have sage in the garden, real sage. So instead of burning sage, like a lot of people do with spiritual, I'm more I rub the sage leaves and I shake them about in the corners, clap in the corners, open the doors, let the air in, let the stagnant energy out, all of that good stuff. I know a lot of people will be like, no, this is silly, but this is what I do, right? You don't have to adopt all the things that I do, but any of it that resonates, we can go for it. Meditate. So meditate on it. Think about it. It's well, I don't know if I meditate or whether I just daydream about it. What is my life going to be like when this money's in my life, right? And that feels good. So try and do that as often as possible. And you can write it down. You can write, like I say, you can have it everywhere, but you can write it out as Bart Simpson. You can write lines, £2,000 by whatever date. £2,000 is in my bank by this date, and just write it out and again. So start to feel into that energy. And sort of also think about anything negative that comes up. And again, Denise talks about this. So negative consequences of if I make 2K in the next 2 weeks, what's the worst thing that could happen? Maybe you'll upset somebody, maybe something will happen, maybe you'll be scared of your own powers. Sometimes I'm a bit I wanted 100K and I made £100,329 recently. And I was like, whoa, that was, considering there was 57 people involved in that, to stop at that amount was just wild. And it's almost whoa, you feel like you've got the magic, and it can be quite frightening, I think, and can make you feel a bit nervous. And then you sort of think, yeah, but people would think I was mad for that. They would think it was silly. It's not the manifestation, it's the strategy and it's the delivery. And I'm going to talk about that as well. Don't worry if you're thinking this is all going to be about woo, it's not. But this is how I get started. And I also I also put it into my system that I believe it's possible. And I do that by really thinking and meditating on it and having some time about it and writing about it and just working through myself. What's going to be great about this? What could possibly not be great? Best case, worst case, most likely scenarios. And that really helps me because I'm super spiritual, super strategic. So it really helps me balance out the two things. But it's that belief that it's possible, I think, is really powerful. And this can bring up a lot of stuff for you, which is why the tapping can be really good to manage your emotions around it. So that's kind of how I get started. Maybe play some music, some I love Humble by Kendrick Lamar. That was my song going up to win the award at the Evas. Probably not the most appropriate song to win in a female business entrepreneur of the year thing. But anyway, I like loud, hardcore rap music. Yours might be classical, spirituals, whatever is your jam. But put something on, get yourself in the zone, get ready to do the work. And this can all happen in like an hour. It doesn't have to be days of it, right? You've got 2 weeks, we've got to crack on. This is all going to happen like day one, right? So set the intention, get your woo on, and do it. Even though you might feel silly, like, and you might think, oh, this is silly. I was laughing at myself, I was like grounding myself in the rain with my team, and I was doing the sage in the corners, and it's silly in a way, but it throwing everything at it. Let's see what happens. Right, then we're going to get a plan together, and I only want you to spend 15 minutes on this, and that's being generous. I changed this a couple of times from 5 to 10, and I thought, no, 15 minutes is fine. So this 2K that you're going to manifest, I want you to create 3 offers, and you're not going to put them all out there, or you might do. It's up to you. So 1 offer for 2K, 1 offer for 197 for 10 people, 10, 11, 12 people as a group, and 1 offer for £97 or dollars that you're going to sell to 21 people. Let's just say 10 and 20. So write down 3 things that you could sell: 1 at 2K, 1 at 197 for a small group, and 1 at 97 that you could do easily, quickly for lots of people. So I want to talk about the things that I would do if I was you. So 2K could be a 6-week one-to-one program where they work with you to do X, Y, Z. Obviously, I don't know what you're thinking, right? So it could be that it's for 6, it could be 6 weeks, could be 12 weeks, could be 4 weeks. You decide, where you're at in your business and your pricing and everything. It could be a day. I charge £2,000 a day, but I used to charge £2,000 for 6 weeks and stuff like that, So wherever you're at, no judgment, but what would you be comfortable delivering for 2K? Yeah. So pick 1 offer that you're going to create for 1 person, your VIP offer for 1 person that's 2K. And the name of the game is to sell 1 of those in the next 2 weeks, right? Or if you don't feel comfortable with that, or you don't prefer, like what I like to do, and I get clients to do this, is write the 3 down on different pieces of paper and hold each one and look at it and think about it. Does it spark joy? Marie Kondo, right? You'll know which one feels good, which feels like it's like the Goldilocks. This one feels a bit heavy. This one feels really fun and easy and light. This one's, I'm not sure. I'm going to do the fun, easy one. Value, joy, profit. Don't forget, guys, you want to be adding value, you want to be getting lots of joy, and you want to be making money. So I want you to create 3 offers. 1 to a 2K VIP thing, whether it's an hour, a day, 6 weeks, 6 months, wherever you're at. A 197, just under £200 thing for 10 people, like maybe a small group thing, or you could do small individual things. Again, you get to decide. And then a £97 thing. I don't know why I said 97, because I always say 99. But anyway, let's say a £99 thing that you're going to do for 20 people. Now, you could do just a one-to-one Zoom call for £99, or you could have a small thing that you sell for £9. Again, you'll know better than me what those 3 things could be. But write each offer down. So 1 for 2K, 1 for 200 quid, and 1 for 100 quid, basically. And then do your Goldilocks thing, which one feels good. And you may even want to go, you know what, I would happily sell all 3 of these. And that's fine. I know I talk about selling 1 thing to 1 person at a time. However, I'm also want you to manifest £2,000 in 2 weeks. So we're just going to go for it. It's only for 2 weeks. It's not forever. Yeah, your audience won't get confused. Your audience won't get mad. Your audience won't leave you and never want to speak to you again. So either pick 1 or pick 2 or pick 3. You decide. But that's your plan. You have 15 minutes to do it, which is why I would keep it tight. And then I want you to set a deadline for people to buy it. I suggest midnight 2 weeks from now. A consequence if they don't buy it, which is usually that they won't be able to buy it again, or they won't be able to go away till who knows. And I want you to offer a bonus for buying it now, early, right? So we need a deadline, a consequence, and a bonus for this to really work, in my opinion. Other opinions are available. So 2 weeks from now, that's the deadline. They've got to send the money by then. You don't have to deliver it then. You can deliver it after that, but they've got to put the money in. They've got to have invested that money at this point, midnight, 2 weeks from now. A bonus for buying it early, fast action bonus, as we would say, and a consequence if they don't buy it at all, which is normally that they stay stuck where they are and they don't move forward. Don't forget, we're trying to manifest 2K for you, but the 2K you'll get will be magnified and amplified by the fact that people you work with are going to have an amazing experience and get great results for themselves, right? So that's another thing to get in the mindset of. This isn't just about money for you. This is about impact for you. So it's money, impact. Those two are not mutually exclusive. The more money you make, the more impact you're having. As a generalized rule, I'm going to say that's pretty much on the money. So I might make 100K during a launch, which we did recently, which is great. Super happy with that. Great for the business. But what does that actually mean? 67 people join my program, which means that they've all invested the money and we're going to help them make more money by getting leads from LinkedIn, right? So they're going to get leads from LinkedIn. They're going to make their money back, or they might watch something like this and make their money back, because I'm streaming this in that group as well. So if you've recently joined the mastermind, this is your sign to get your 2K back, right? But they make the money back from investing in me, and then they go on and make more money. So I've amplified that money. So it's not just I get 100K for me and my team, which allows us to keep giving out loads of free content like this. But actually, that 100K is turned into like £1 million, like quick, smart, when people take action, get the results, right? So don't just think about it as I need 2K for me. It's like, what does that 2K mean for other people and those people out there who need your help? Okay, so we've got our offer, we've got our plan, we've got an offer together. And in the garden, that's the only trouble being in the garden. There's a lot of nature going on. Right, okay, so we've got our plan together. Don't overthink this. Hopefully you've written things down while I've been talking and you've got a plan. I've seen people do this and execute this so many times. So I'm really excited to do this at scale so we can send this out to millions of people. A million people can do it. Millions of people make $2,000. See how I'm amplifying my impact, right? Okay, so you got your plan together. Let's go. Now, I am super spiritual and I do believe wholeheartedly in the universe and in manifestation and the law of attraction. I really do. And the reason why I believe it is because I've got lots of evidence that it's worked for me, right? However, it's not a standalone thing. And I think we all know that. Action is about making it happen. So intention is about mapping out what you want to happen and how you want it to happen. But action is about making it happen, building that bridge between the universe trying to help you and you trying to help them, right? So I'm going to talk about the things that I do. And again, this might not be for everyone, but I know for you, it's for you, right? I know for the one person sitting there thinking, okay, yeah, I'm going to do all these things, right? So when it comes to action, we are going to, you may be able to sell your offers to your existing audience, and that's cool, right? But I'm going to say that it's going to be a benefit to you to grow your audience in the next 2 weeks as aggressively as possible. This is what I'm talking about. I am not all about the chill, really. I'm all about beast mode, hustle, do what it takes for short sprints, which is why this is 2 weeks, right? I want you to commit to doing whatever it takes for the next 2 weeks. Then you can rest. Then you can catch up on Netflix. Then you can have your salt baths, right? You know, like, it's not going to break you to go into fifth gear for 2 weeks. It's not going to, you'll be fine. It's not going to affect your life, your family, your mental health. It's not going to bring you, push you to burnout or give you some horrible, reality. You're just going to graft for the next 2 weeks. You're going to throw everything at it, mentally, emotionally, physically, marketing wise, to get this money in the bank and more, and prove to yourself that you can do it. It's a short sprint, and once it's done, you can take your foot off the gas, you can relax, you can get back to all the good stuff, right? But I think what I would say is commit to the next 2 weeks. And this is like me in launch. I explained to my family, I'm not going to be very present. I'm going to be on my phone. I'm going to be on my computer. I've got to do whatever it takes over the next 2 weeks. We're going to make good money out of it. That's how we pay our bills. And, I say to my husband, I'm going to probably be moody and snappy. I just need you to feed me and be quiet most of the time, because all I do is talk. I talk for a living. And sometimes all I want is just to be quiet, right? But, you got to make some sacrifices, I'd say, particularly when you're in a promotion, right? This is going to be a 2-week promotion. So take from that what you will. But I would look at any bullshit excuses that you make around, I haven't got time, I've got a busy life, I've got stuff to do, life gets in the way. And it's like, we've all got busy lives. We've all got shit to do. I've got 4 children. I've got, multiple businesses. Got all the bad things happening to me and the good things happening to me in the roller coaster that we call life. And it's not competitive. I'm just saying things are always going to happen. It's never going to be a perfect 2 weeks. So let's just make it the next 2 weeks. And we're just going to go for it. And I wouldn't put it off. I won't wait for a better time. I wouldn't wait for things to calm down. I won't wait for you to be in a better place. I wouldn't wait for you to, have better hair, lose more weight, get the kids off to primary or whatever it is that you're waiting for. It's like, let's do it now. Let's create the money. Let's create the space. And let's commit to doing it. So growing your audience is about getting in front of new people. And every day when you wake up, I want you to think, how can I get in front of new people today? So my audience is great, but how can I get in front of new people today? Now, I've only got 2 weeks. So some of the longer term strategies like podcasts and things like that, and even guest expert, might not be able to execute in 2 weeks. But what I would say is number 1 step in terms of action is rewrite all your profiles. So your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, make it all about this offer. All these offers, but let's just say make it all about this offer. So your header image on Facebook about the offer, your profile on Facebook is about the offer. It's got the deadline, it's got the consequence, it's got the bonus, it's got the price. It's there. So Facebook, you are a loving mum and all the rest of it, but just get rid of that for now. Focus on the offer in your headline, in your image. Same on Instagram, have it as your profile, have that as your link. You don't need a landing page for this, by the way. People can just send you a message to get the info and send you the money. But if you want to do that, you can, but don't use that as procrastination. And your LinkedIn, your headline and your profile, all about this offer. I change my headline when I'm promoting different things, all about this offer, because what we're going to do over the next 2 weeks is be so disgustingly everywhere that people are going to come and check us out. Because they're going to see if they want to be friends with us. They're going to see if they want to connect with us. They want to see what we're talking about. They want to see who we are because we just burst into their life. So your profiles have got to reflect the thing that you're selling for the next 2 weeks. And everything is about that. Just for 2 weeks, you can change it all back to be more generic, but just for the next 2 weeks, make sure when people follow the breadcrumbs back to you, that is what they see. Okay, so update all your profiles. Now, we're going to add new people every day. So we're going to add new people on LinkedIn. We're going to ask to be friends with people on Facebook, people that we meet, people that come up in our suggested, people that could potentially buy our thing. We don't know if they're going to buy our thing, but we're not going to send them a message. So it's all right. If they don't want to buy our thing, that's fine. But we want to bring them into our world. And one thing that I do when I'm in launch is I clear out a load of contacts because I'm up to the max. You might not be up to the max. I'm up to the max 30k on LinkedIn, 5k on Facebook. I don't even know what the max is on Instagram. I'm not very good at it. I think I've got about 10k, but I think I've got plenty to go. But I do clear out old contacts, people that are never going to buy from me, or they're just people I don't see anymore from school or whatever, and I just not friends with them online. I'm not friends with them in real life, so just get rid. And the same on LinkedIn. And then I actively freshen up my audience by asking to connect with people. If I'm in groups with people and they're engaging with me, I'll ask them to connect. If they come with my suggestions, I'll ask them to be friends on Facebook. I'll go, if I do a post and lots of people comment on it, I'll ask them to be friends with me. If I do a post on LinkedIn and people aren't first-degree connections, I'll ask them to connect with me. I'll also search for and add people on Facebook as well. And another tip is Facebook groups, because I want you to join 50 new Facebook groups, right, for the next 2 weeks, is join the groups, find the admins, see if you can be friends with the admins, because they're the people who've got all the influence. So we're going to join Facebook groups. We're going to add new people. What else did I write down? We are going to really grow our audience through our engagement. So what I mean by that is we're going to ask to connect with people, yes. So follow people on Instagram, ask them to connect with on Facebook, ask them to connect with on LinkedIn. But we are going to really grow our audience. Oh my God, there's a squirrel and a crow having a fight in the garden. Why would they do that? Why would the squirrel and a crow fight? The squirrel is chasing it. Why? Oh my God, it's like David Attenborough's like the worst bit of the documentary I can't watch through a pillow. It's happening in the garden while I'm trying to... Why are they fighting? Why would they fight? Why would a squirrel and a bird fight? God, right, I'm going to have to focus. Sorry. This is going to be recorded, and I know it's going to be my best performing content, and everyone's going to say, oh yeah, I saw that masterclass where the squirrel was fighting with the crow. Anyway, let's hope it all goes away. Right, so I forgot what I was doing. All right, engagement. This is how we're going to grow our audience, by spending all of our time being nice to people on the internet. So all the groups that we're in, all the people that we know, all the people that are having conversations, we're going to join in all the conversations. We are going to be nice to people on the internet, and we are not going to try and sell to them. Very important. We're going to comment on their stuff. We're going to reply to their comments. We're going to engage on their posts everywhere we go, everywhere we see, our Facebook feed, our LinkedIn feed, our Instagram feed. We are going to put nice comments about what they're trying to achieve. We are not going to post about ourselves. We are not going to turn the conversation back around to us, and we are definitely not going to pitch in the comments. Those are the rules, right? We are instead going to be good citizens of the internet, and we are going to comment on people's stuff. And I'm talking about hundreds of comments a day for the next 2 weeks. I don't know if you just spat your drink out, but I'm talking hundreds of comments. I'm talking hours a day spent engaging. Yeah. Every minute you've got, basically. When you're getting the kids ready for school, when you're waiting for the kettle to boil, when you are sat in the car picking the kids up from school, when you are in a boring meeting and you've got your camera off, when you are sat outside, anywhere, gymnastics or whatever, right? Every spare minute of the day, including all the hours of the evening when you are watching Netflix and faffing about, I want you to be commenting on people's stuff. Not talking about your stuff. I want you to be commenting on people's stuff. This is how we get really well known really quickly. And people like us because they see us supporting them and not trying to promote ourselves in the comments. Really great tactic, and actually a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun because you get to have loads of cool conversations with cool people, and you're being nice to them and they're being nice to you, and it's all good. Like, it's a good way to spend your time. It's an easy way to spend your time. You don't have to think, you don't have to add value. You just see what they're posting and you just engage on their stuff. You comment on their stuff. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever your ideal clients hang out. Engagement is how we're going to make this super, super, super work quickly, fast. This is what we want. We've got 2 weeks, right? We're all in, remember? Full on beast mode. So hundreds of comments every day for the next 2 weeks, including the weekends. Every spare minute you've got. That's it. Okay. As well, on top, we are going to promote our thing like our lives depend on it, because they do. So it's going to change your life, right? If you can manifest 2 grand in 2 weeks, it's going to change your life, because you're going to work out you can manifest 20 grand in 4 weeks, or whatever you decide, or 200 grand in 12 months, or whatever, So it's life changing, but you've got to promote your stuff. So the way that I promote, I talk about 4 pillars of content all the time. So they are stories, video, social proof, call to action. Stories about your thing. Why is your thing really good? Who are you? Why do you do what you do? What do you love about it? Tell me some good things about it. Tell me some bad things about it. Tell me about the offer. Tell me about what you're doing today. Tell me about what you're doing tomorrow. Stories sell. Yeah. Telling stories, being a good storyteller. Look up Susan Payton. She's got an amazing book called The Business of Stories. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Buy a book, but still, start writing stories now. Read the book after the 2 weeks, maybe. Okay. I don't want you to be like, I've read Sue's book for 2 weeks. Didn't manifest the money. But stories, really powerful. Tell people who you are. Don't just tell them what you can do. People are, the thing they care least about is the thing that you can do. The fact that I can help you get leads from LinkedIn is really boring for most people, right? Yes, you have to showcase your expertise, but actually people care about who you are as a person. So people care more about me meeting Stu and getting married, or me blending the 4 kids together, or me having a daughter who runs her own LinkedIn agency now, and all this kind of stuff, right? People love who I am, not just what I do. And that's really weird mindset thing to get over, but it is a thing. And then they care even more about how you think and feel. So when I talk about being scared, or when I talk about feeling ecstatically happy, or when I talk about feeling really uncomfortable, people seem to love that even more. So the more you can talk about who you are, what you do, why you do it, how you feel about it, the more people can get to know you, and those stories can really build together a picture of who you are. Because the thing that they're going to buy because of you, not because of what it is. So stories sell. Video, I mean, I do video every day when it's a launch. I do a mix of just going live on my own page, this kind of stuff. I'm not even in launch now, but I just wanted to do it after last launch. But this kind of content, which is useful, that's evergreen, that we can use again and again, but it's like value, like pure value that people get a lot out of. Some live engagement stuff. So maybe a live call with people doing hot seats, showcasing what I can do, and that I'm an expert in the thing that I can do. I can answer any question at any time. Well, I can't answer any question, but I'm confident enough to say I don't know the answer. It could be interviews with other people who have been in my program. It could be getting people to interview me and then putting that out there. But video, it's TV, babe. Like, you know, the more video you do, the better this is going to work. If you commit to doing a couple of videos a day for the next 2 weeks, including the weekends, you're going to sell your thing. So get over yourself and your fear of video quick, because everyone has a fear of video, but we do it anyway. I've just been asked to talk on stage in front of thousands of people. I'm terrified. I'm going to do it anyway, because you just do it, right? Because you do what you have to do to get what it is that you desire. And for me, I want to have more impact, make more money, have more impact, two things together. And for you, you want to make $2,000 in 2 weeks. So we're going to do loads of video. So stories, video, social proof. So social proof is really about getting people who are interested off the fence and ready to buy, because we are human by nature and we want to see that somebody else has done the thing that we're thinking of doing. So even if it's a new program and it's a new offer, getting people in your world who've said nice things about you, screenshotting it and posting about it every single day, multiple times a day in multiple different places, is going to help people make a decision to buy from you. And then call to action. I can post, if I'm in launch, I can easily post 30 times a day on each platform. Easily. You know, LinkedIn, multiple, the link to buy the thing, multiple times a day. Asking people to DM me to buy something maybe different, it's not got a link, multiple times a day. It's only for the next 2 weeks. So I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, people get sick of me. Some people might. So I do get pushback. People are like, I'm sick of the sight of you, stop sending me emails and all that kind of stuff. But I also make a lot of money and help a lot of people. So I have to, and I want you to put that at the forefront. It's like, this is about making money, helping people, not about, you know, one person sat at home fuming because you've sent 2 emails in 10 minutes, right? That's not really about them. They can unsubscribe and that's fine. But you have to keep promoting and showing up and being consistent. Don't forget things like stories and reels. I always forget things like stories and reels, but they're really powerful and obviously really pushed well on social media. And don't forget emails. Even if you've only got 10 people on your email list, for the next 2 weeks, email them every day. So some of it could be value, some of it could be conversational, some of it could be selling, but start emailing. You don't have to say, hi, I've not emailed you for ages. I'm going to be sending you an email for the next 2 weeks. Just start emailing people. So don't forget that. And don't forget to ask for referrals, and don't forget to ask people to share your stuff and to support you in your promotion to sell this thing for 2K, right? So people love to help and are happy to be asked usually, not always, but most people are like that. And also I would say is to do something like this. So do one piece of what I call, again, I call it pillar content, which means that it's value led. It's for people to get something, take away, get something from it. It goes live to all of my places pretty much. So it's live streamed. I didn't prep this. I didn't get people to sign up for it. I didn't take details for it. Obviously, on a bigger strategy, you'd want to do that. But for the next 2 weeks, because that will just hold you back when you think, well, I haven't got a scorecard and I haven't got a landing page and I haven't got registration, I haven't got a Zoom webinar. Just get StreamYard and do this like this, because this is your chance to showcase who you are and what you do. And I would do it on the Thursday before the Friday or whatever the day is that you're finishing at midnight, and be really explicit that if you've enjoyed this, send me a message. I've got an offer. It closes out tomorrow at midnight. You need to send me a message before then, and I'll send you all the details, right? Be clear on what it is, how much it is, and how they can get it, right? Don't be afraid to give people an opportunity to buy from you. I'm not, and I don't want you to be, because we've got to get this 2K in, right? Okay, so I would definitely suggest doing a sort of masterclass stroke webinar. Right, Finally, step 5. So you do all the marketing. This is how I do it. Set the intention. I got a plan of action. Do the growth stuff. Do the marketing. Do the engagement. Do the comments. I do it all by myself, by the way. I do have a team, as in doing the team, but the social media stuff, I do all by myself. All the engagements you see are all me. All the posts that you see are all me. So it's possible to do at scale. Now, closing out a launch, let's just call this what it is, right? It's a 2-week launch, right? Closing it out. This is where it's really easy to lose momentum. So when I coach people through this 5-step process, right? This is the bit where they're tired, they think it's not going to work, nobody's bought, they get really despondent, they hit the wall, and they're like, and I see a lot of people, not people I coach, obviously, I see a lot of people get to this point and just stop. And this is the point you need to dig deep, step up, and close actively, not passively. So let's say you do your webinar or your masterclass on the Thursday, it's closing on the Friday. You wake up on the Friday, you think, no one's bought my thing or my things. I'm just going to have the day off. No. You get up and you're like, right, what do I need to do? I need to close this out. And what I mean by that is, everyone who's thinking about buying, who's not even spoke to you about it, is watching. They're on the fence and they're watching and they're thinking about it. And if you go quiet now, you will lose all that momentum. You really will. This is the number one reason that launches flop. People give up right at the end. So write a list of everyone that's engaged on your stuff and they're like, oh, this looks really interesting. Even if they've not messaged you, write a list of those people. Keep a list of people through the week. The people who show up on like day one of a launch for me are always the people that buy, even if they don't reach out to me. And follow up with those engaged people and just be like, oh, I've seen you loads this week. Hope it's been great. Just let you know the offer goes away on Friday. And if they say no, ask them why not. So again, at scale, we have like technology to do this for us, right? We have a big WhatsApp system and it, asks the questions for us, but you haven't got that right now, or you might have it. Let's say you haven't got it. So how I used to do it back in the day, I just asked them. They say, oh yeah, it was really great. I've really loved it watching you do your stuff. It's really useful. It's not for me right now. Cool. Why is that? Well, I can't afford it. Right. Well, that's fine. So go away and do the work and I'll see you when you come back. Fine. It might be like, I just don't think it's going to work for me, but ask them and then you can overcome that objection. Ask them, overcome the objection, not because you want to sell to them particularly or close them, but this is great content for the last day. Then all the objections you turn into content. So these are the things that I've been hearing. People say they can't afford it. People say that they, I don't think it's for them. People say they've not got the time. People say they're worried about that. And then answer those questions publicly because of all the people watching. Never underestimate the amount of people that watch and lurk and think and they're having their own objections and you can overcome them publicly. This isn't about selling in the DMs, although you can absolutely do that. It's about asking the questions of the people who were engaged, asking them why they're not going to buy, so you can then use that as content. So on the last day, it's all about overcoming objections. It's about giving people an opportunity to talk to you. So I hand out my personal WhatsApp. So we have a work WhatsApp, but I give out my personal WhatsApp. People can just send me a message on WhatsApp. I ask people to DM me. I ask people to talk. Basically, it all comes down to conversations on that last day. Not always. Again, at scale, we're able to close out launches without any sales calls, but you might not be quite at that level yet. And I certainly wasn't for a long, long time. So I used to do all my sales calls myself, 15-minute chats on the phone, none of this discovery call hour bullshit. 15-minute chat on the phone. And I used to say, hi, how have you found the last couple of weeks? What do you need to hear from me so you can make a decision to buy? And then let them tell me what they needed to know. And then I would explain what they needed to know. And they would say whether they buy or not. And if they didn't buy, fine. There was no like aggressive close, like as in like, you must do this. But just asking that question, what do you need to know from me right now to help you make a decision to buy or not buy? And that's fine. So that was kind of always my lead in. And the other thing was always, if you don't do this, which is fine, what are you going to do instead to fix the problem that you've got, right? And that could just get people to think a little bit more deeper about, well, if they're not going to do this thing, what they're going to do instead. But never overcome a price objection, because I've been really poor and I find it rude when people say, oh, you just don't value it enough. It's like, no, actually, I can't afford to pay my bills, so I'm not investing in your thing. But thanks for the free content, right? So people have complete prerogative to consume your free content and not buy. So I don't personally try and overcome price objections. I do sometimes say things like, if you can't buy this, then, and you want to buy, if you really want to buy this and you can't afford it, then there's a bigger problem than just not being able to put your hands on the money right now, right? There must be other things you can't afford to buy that you want to. So like, take this as your sign that something's got to change. And it doesn't mean buying from me, because they can't afford to buy from me, which is fine. But it's like, please make a change so that you can invest money into whatever you want, me or handbags or buy yourself a pony or whatever, right? Go on holiday. But if you can't buy now and you want to, then use this as a kind of catalyst to like, actually, I need to change something. And that doesn't mean buying from me. It just means like, go away and change something. So following up, engaging, asking the questions, using its content, doing a countdown. You've got 2 hours till the deadline, sending that email, last 15 minutes, be consistent. It's like, there's an hour to go, 10 minutes to go. You missed your opportunity, whatever it might be. Then there'll come a point on that last day, usually about 8 or 9 o'clock. You've done everything you can do. Yeah, you've done all your follow-up, you've done all your conversations, you've done all your posts, your emails are scheduled. Then we get into receiving mode. Then I'm going to totally switch off, relax, go somewhere without your phone, go out, go for a walk, obviously go to the pub, but go to the cinema, go for a swim, somewhere where you're not going to be obsessively looking at your phone, and get into receiving mode. Like, I've done everything I needed to do. I've given it my best shot. I'm ready to receive, and let the universe close it out. Let the universe do the work. Let their people talk to your people, and let the magic happen. So we start with the woo and we end with the woo. You do your meditation, you do your salt baths, you do your crystals, you cleanse your chakras, you do your tapping, you do your energy work, right? Then we do the woo again at the end to kind of top and tail this process. Let the magic happen, but know that in the middle of the magic, we've done the strategy, we've taken action, we've grown our audience, we've engaged with our audience, we've promoted to our audience, we've talked to our audience, we've had conversations. I said this week that the clients are in the conversations, not how do I get clients, how to have more conversations, how can I have hundreds of conversations in the next 2 weeks to give me those 10 clients that I need, or that one VIP client that I need, and have fun with it. That's what I would say. Like, this is a game, right? I think life's a game, right? But business particularly is a game. Have fun with it. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable. All the things I've talked about today are free. There's nothing in there that's going to cost you money. You don't need any expensive tech. You don't need a big team. You don't need anything complicated. All that can come later. But for quick cash, 2K in 2 weeks to fix a problem that you've got, or to give you something you desire, it's about having fun with it. And if you don't hit it, it's fine. But you've got to go to bed on that last night knowing I've thrown everything at it. I've done everything I could do. If it's not manifested, it's just not the right time for me. I've had fun with the process. I've enjoyed it, and I'm ready to go again. Whether you hit your target or you don't, just say, I'm ready to go again. Let's try it again. Let's do it again. Let's enjoy it and have fun with it, right? Not forever. It's just for now. It's 2 weeks. And I would, honestly, if I didn't hit that, I would do it again. I'd have maybe a week or 2 off, and I'd go again until I really started to hit those goals that I was setting for myself. So hopefully this has been useful. Hopefully you're thinking, you've taken something away from this, that you think, actually, this is possible. And like I said, you can change your numbers and timelines to suit you. It's the process that makes a difference, I think, and having that process and actively taking action every single day towards that goal, and combining the spiritual with the strategy. Like, that's kind of, I guess, the secret. Like, not the secret, like the book, but the secret for me. People say, like, what's your secret for success? It's that ability, that belief in my manifestation skills, because I'm able to set a goal, top and tail it with the magic, do the strategy and the work in the middle, make sacrifices short term, and get long-term benefits, you know. And I do this with clients. Like, I do work through this process step by step, and everyone has different road bumps, you know, everyone has different walls, and everyone has different bits where they get stuck. But it is about being out of your comfort zone for 2 weeks, and it is uncomfortable, and it should be, because you're manifesting money magically. So it shouldn't be easy, right? It should be a process that we do. And belief in the process is definitely step one. But I do like the fact that we're combining the two, the strategy and the spirituality, definitely. So hopefully that was useful. Hopefully you got something out of it. Please send me a message and let me know what you thought. And also send me a message when you've done the 5-step process and you've manifested your 2K in 2 weeks. I look forward to those messages immensely, because it really helps me see that the work I'm doing is having an impact on the world. So lots of love. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks, guys.